everyone, how you doing? Dan here, and today I thought we could have a look at doing some more drone video editing, this time on a free mobile app. Now what's really cool about this app is what you probably already have it on your phone because you need it to fly your drone. So today we're going to be looking at doing a full edit in the DJI Fly app, and it is definitely capable. Now what if I told you the video at the start of this video was actually done and edited on the DJI Fly app? It was done on there, the speed remapping was done on there. I put audio in there from EPIDEMIC sound, which was absolutely amazing. And what's even more amazing is I managed to import some footage of my Canon R6 onto my phone into the DJI Fly app. So you're not just limited to drone footage. And if you don't believe me, here's a proof of a timeline on the DJI Fly app. There we go. Now I'm not going to claim what it's the best edit in the world, nor am I going to claim what it's the best editing software in the world, but what it is it's portable and highly versatile. Now the original plan behind this video was I was going to be somewhere remote, maybe at a nice lake or somewhere, and to do this video there, just to show that you don't need to be locked down at a desk to be doing your editing. Especially your drone editing, you can pretty much download it from the drone straight to the app and edit wherever you are. But I've got to self-isolate until Tuesday, so here we are back in the studio. As I mentioned earlier on, there's a few things we're going to be looking at. One of them is importing our own music, and I'm going to be using EPIDEMIC sound, so we'll have a quick look at that. And finally, we're going to make sure you're working with the highest resolution data from your drone. We definitely don't want to be editing the proxy files. So we're going to go over all that, and we're going to have a look at all the in-depth features on the DJI Fly editing app. So let's jump straight into it. So first of all, let's have a look at getting all of the files onto our phone ready to edit. Now with a drone, it's fairly easy. We just have to make sure that we're working with high resolution data. So let me show you what I mean here. So let's turn the drone on. So we got the drone connected. Here I am. Hello. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our album, see our footage. Now this is footage I've got on the drone, and this is footage I've got in the DJI Fly app. Now anything which has got this little arrow and almost like the spacebar button means it needs downloading. We can watch this footage back, but this is just a proxy file. It's not the highest resolution we can be editing with. And as you can see at the top left here, it just says not downloaded. So if you put the SD card into the drone, which has this footage on, you'll be able to download it. So all you have to do is say go to aircraft, click this shot, and we'll just download it with this bottom button at the bottom left. We'll do a full download. Of course, this is going to take up a fair bit of memory on your phone, but if you are editing on your phone, this is just one of those issues what we're going to encounter, but it's not the end of the world. So let's quickly let it do this. Now you can put the drone into transfer mode, and it'll do it a little bit quicker as well, so not many people know you can do that. But if you press this lightning bolt at the top, switch to quick transfer mode. God, all right drone. Now it's going to take a little while to do this. Okay. So we've got this shot here again from this morning. Just download, full download. Actually, yeah, that is considerably quicker. That was a much bigger file and it's done it a lot quicker. Whilst during quick data mode, you can't fly the drone, so just bear that in mind. But that's pretty much it for getting the high resolution media files off the drone so you can edit them in the app. Now, if you want to get other material from other cameras, all you have to do is get it onto the phone somehow. So for example, I just put it onto my laptop and transferred it over into my photos library. That worked fine on Apple. If you're on Android or other devices, you can do it. Just find a way of getting your footage to the phone and make a folder, and the DJI Fly app will find it for when you come to editing it, which is absolutely amazing. And finally, in regards to audio, as I mentioned, I'm using EPIDEMIC sounds. I found some really nice music on there for my drone videos, and if you are making drone videos and want to make them a little bit better, I'd definitely check out EPIDEMIC sounds. I've got a link in the description below which will give you a free 30-day trial and also a good look round the website. Not only does it have really cool music on there for all your drone and video needs, it's also got some really cool sound effects which I've used in my previous drone videos, so definitely check that out. And I'll go over later on how to put the music onto your phone. Again, it's the same way, but the DJI Fly app has an easy way of doing it later on. So let's have a look at the editing tool and start building up our edit. To start an edit in the DJI Fly app, we're just going to tap the create at the bottom right. Now when it first opens up, you're going to be greeted by this template mode, which is pretty cool, but today we're going to have a look at how to build our own edits up. This is so we have a little bit more creative control. We can choose the order a little bit more, the length of the shots, we can add a bit of colour correction and also apply some of our own music. Now these templates are quite cool for a really quick edit, but the only problem I find with templates is what quite a lot of people use them, and then your edit can look very similar to someone else's and you kind of lose your creative touch. Just before I go past this screen, if we just press on this at the top right, this is where all of your projects will be. So this is a project from the opening of this video, but we're just going to go back and press Pro for now. Now this screen is where we're going to import the footage so we can edit it in the DJI Fly app. Now I've got a folder already made, here we go. So this is all of the footage I was on about earlier, putting it into a folder on the phone so we can edit it on the DJI Fly app. So I'm just going to tap these shots. So here we've got some shots on the Canon R6, the Mini 2, and I think that's all of them, and that's it, yeah. So we're just going to tap add. So this is the main screen of the DJI Fly app. Now this is pretty much where we're going to spend a lot of our time. Now we can do some quite advanced stuff in here, so I'm going to go over it and break it down one by one. Now my main problem with this app at the moment is what you can't do it in landscape mode. But just as a quick tour, the top middle button, that's for crop. So if you know you are cropping for a certain platform, you can do this right at the start. So let's go in and put, in fact, we'll keep ours as 16:9 for now. Then down here, we've got our footage. Then we've got our undo and redo button, the play and pause button. And with this button, you can change the crop just underneath. That's not doing anything because it is a 16:9 crop already. Underneath, we've got the timeline where we can add some cards, as mentioned, transitions, and rearrange our shots. We can also change the speed of our shots, and we can also trim our shots too, which is really, really important. Then we've got our context menu. So this is our edit context menu at the moment. So we can cut, volume, speed, reverse, copy, delete. And then as we go through these different workspaces at the bottom, we get a different context menu. We get music, filters, text, and finally stickers, which I'm not going to use, but they're there if you need them. So first of all, we've already got our footage in the app. Now you can go about doing your edit now, but what I'd recommend doing first is importing your music, because what we can start to do then is cut to the beat. And this app has actually got a rhythm tool, so you can start playing with the beat and put little markers in so you can cut perfectly on each beat. It's absolutely amazing. It's such a really great feature to have. But let's get some music onto the timeline. So we're going to go to music and tap add here. Now if we go to local, as you can see, I've already imported a EPIDEMIC soundtrack. Now what I'm going to do here is just show you how to do it. So if you just tap import, and it just gives you a few options. So you can do it via AirDrop, you can do it by WeChat, which I don't have, or iTunes. Now, if you're on Android, I'm sure you're gonna get some different options here, but I found AirDrop on a Mac was super easy. So once you sent it from your computer, you'll get this screen and you can just tap DJI Fly, and then there we go, imported successfully. We can come back and here we go, time to spare. But we're gonna use 2Ps in a pod from EPIDEMIC Sounds, just because I prefer that track. I'm just going to tap this little plus button by the music, and as you see, the music has been added. So we've got our music imported into the edit now. Now this is why I've got the headphones on. It's so I can do the music editing and you don't have to hear the music over me talking, but I will have the music as a slight background layer, but it won't be too intrusive. So the first things first is we're going to think about how we're going to be using our music. Now probably with our drone footage we're going to want to cut on the beats of the music. Now at the moment we can see the beats of the music by these little peaks and troughs, but it's not very defined. So what we can actually do is we can make some markers in the app so we've got some very clear points to cut on the beat. So all we're going to do is press rhythm, and then you're going to be greeted by this super awesome screen. This is really, really cool. And all we're going to do is hit play, and then every time we kind of feel a beat in the music, we're going to tap this little drum and you'll get into a rhythm. It doesn't matter if you miss any, it's not a problem. This is just to give you a few kind of guidance markers if you do want to cut on a particular beat. But I'll just show you how this works. So we'll just hit play. And then every time you feel a beat, you'll find some very nice defined points where you definitely want to cut to. So I'm not going to go through the entire song, but I think you get the idea. Now, if you've missed a beat like I did around here, you can just go back, hit play. There we go, got the beat this time. Sometimes you tap the button and it just doesn't quite register. Or it might be a case where you've put a beat in where you don't want to cut to. That's fairly easy. You just tap above the dot and you can either move it forward or backwards 0.1 seconds just to get it right on the beat, or you can just delete it like that. But now when you press the tick button and we go back to our edit, you'll see all these little dots down here ready to do our editing with. How cool is that? Absolutely amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to trim the music to our desired length. Now I don't want this bit of the song at the start, so sorry, to do that all you need to do is click on the track and then hold down at the end and you can trim it to exactly how long you want. Now I want this beat in here and I want this beat here, so I think I'm going to start it on a beat around here. Let's go one more. We'll start it there, and then if you just hold on the music you can kind of move it to where you want it in the timer. And we're going to make this a, let's call it a 45-second edit. It might be a little bit longer or a bit shorter, but let's see. There we go. Let's just drag this down. See, look how easy this is. There, we'll call it a 50-second edit for now. Right, so that's pretty much it for our music side of things. The only other things I would recommend is going on to volume, and you can change the volume here if you need to, but I just recommend putting a fade in and a fade out on, just so it gives the audience a little bit of time to get into the video. You might not really think it's a huge touch, but it does really help. So we'll just press yes there. So from the music side of things, we're pretty much done now. I mean, there might be some tweaks as we go along. We might want to change the timing a little bit, but the main thing now is really to build our edit up. So just having a quick look around the edit, let's go to the edit tab. So we can just swipe through our edit. If we zoom in and out with our normal pinch, you can zoom in and out on the timeline, which is super useful, especially once you come to drag in your clips around. But first things first, let's try and build up an edit. So I like this shot here actually for our opening shot. It's a nice reveal off the park and Manchester. So all you have to do is click and hold on the shot and you'll be greeted by this kind of screen where you can just drag the order of your shots. So we'll put this at the start and we're just going to watch the edit back a couple of times now. See, this shot at the moment is 15 seconds, which is way too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed it up by 2 just by pressing the speed button, hit the tip button, and already that's now down to 7.5 seconds. Still a bit too long. And I think we can cut this clip about around here. So just going to, like we did with the music, click the clip and trim the duration. Now we just need to find a beat round here. I've not actually got one. I must have missed it. There we go. So there's one just there. And we'll put that there. So now when we play this clip, it's going to cut on the beat. There we go, perfect. But I don't want this to be the next shot. I want it to be a nice shot of the island. So I'll just scrub through my footage. Super easy, there we go. So again, click and drag all the way to the start. This is pretty much it going forward now. We pretty much want to trim the shots down, pick the speed and pick the order. It's as simple as that. Again, this shot's a little bit slow, so let's just change the speed. That's actually very near to a beat, another one I've missed. There we go. And then we're going to get a little tiny shot in here just so we can have something really nice to cut to on that big bit of the music there. I think we'll go for a quick shot of the flowers, wherever they are. There they are. So again, we just navigate to them. Change the duration. Trim out any bad bits you don't want. There we go. But we want quite a nice epic moment for that cut. It's quite a, a significant moment in the song. So let's cut to a really nice shot here. See, I like this one, but we'll save that for later. Again, I like all these shots. There we go. Now this shot's a super long shot, so we've got to do quite a bit of trimming now. I think this shot, if you see how it doesn't start immediately, so we're just gonna move that until it's started. It's also a very long, slow shot, so let's put the speed up a little bit. Let's go 2.75 for this shot. And there we go. And then we're gonna end that shot on that marker there. That's quite a long shot, but we'll keep it for now. And then now, because we're already at a certain area of the park, so this nice tree line, we're going to cut to another shot, which was actually near there at the time of shooting, which is this lovely little lens flare. This is captured on the Canon R6. And the aperture was turned all the way down, so you got that really nice sunburst as well. Pretty pleased with this shot, actually. So we've actually got a cut point already down here. You'll notice that when you cut into these little cut points in the music, what they kind of snap to it, which is really cool as well. So this is pretty much the same process now for the rest of the edit. So I'm just going to skip through the video, changing the speed of the shots, trimming the starts and the ends of the shots, putting them in a nice order, and making sure they all kind of connect together. Once I've done that, we'll have a look at how to build the edit up a little bit more. So here's the complete edit now, all trimmed down, cut to the music properly and put in a suitable order, which I think tells a nice story of the park. We pretty much have a tour around Plattfields Park now, which is pretty cool. Now, some other quick things to look at in the app. So this little white box in between each of the cuts is a transition point, maybe a transition here. So if we just tap this little white box, and we've got some different transitions to choose from. Personally, I'd only ever use dissolve. I mean, dip to black and dip to white are quite useful too, but I think dissolve's quite nice. And there we go, we just get a fade between the two shots now. You can do this pretty much between any shot, which is super, super useful. If you do have audio on your video shots, which you might do if it's been imported from another camera, you can change the volume of them here if need be. For example, on my Canon R6 shot, this has actually got some music, so we'll just turn that down. Also, we can cut our clips. I forgot to mention this one, but for example here, if you just tap cut, it's going to make this shot into two shots. So for example, some people don't cut the drone videos, they just have, say, 7 minutes of 10 different drone shots. So you could import your footage into the app like this, and then just cut it down into the shots, and then delete the middle sections, which you don't want to keep. So for example, if this was a 7-minute shot, we could cut the bit of a shot we don't want anymore, for example this bit, and just delete it like that. And you can also copy it and reverse a shot if need be. So that's pretty much it for the video tools. Like I said, you can copy and paste too. I'm sorry if I'm shouting a little bit, because I just can't really hear with these headphones. So we've done music as well. We also have some filters here. Now, I don't tend to use any of the filters. I think they're a little bit cheesy, but you might find a nice use of them. But just have a scroll through, and there's absolutely tons of them here. The ones I do tend to use though are the colour correction tools. You can change the brightness of your shot, contrast, saturation. Let's make this super green, super nice, super summery. There we go. Temperature is just a white balance, so if you have accidentally shot in the wrong white balance, it might be looking a little bit warm or a little bit cold, and if you knock this to the left, it'll make it a little bit colder to counteract the warmness. Or if you shot it a little bit too cold, you can bring this slider towards the warmth and get rid of that kind of bluish look off your footage. Mine was the right white balance, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. You can add a nice vignette as well. Moving it to the right adds a white vignette, and moving it to the left adds a black vignette, which is pretty handy. And you also get a sharpness tool as well. Now, I tend just to bring my sharpness down just a little bit, maybe about -15. The DJI Mini 2 footage tends to be over sharpened, so this just kind of softens it out a little bit and just makes your footage a little bit more pleasing to look at. But I'm just going to hit apply, and the idea is you just go through to your next shot and then kind of color correct that one and build up a nice color look to your video. After filter, we've got text if you want to add some titles. So for example, we could put in a nice title shot for Plattfields. Oops, let's Park. There we go. And then you can change the style the font and the position. Now as you can see, that's got a little bit too big now. I'm just going to hit OK, and then you can just kind of zoom it in and out to get the right size of the piece. Now this isn't a title I'd probably particularly use, but it's something there if you want to use it. Now what's really cool with the titles is you can also animate them. So if you just press the animation button, you've got some in and out animations, which are pretty cool. There we go. And you can also fade them out as well. There we go. So now when we play this, we're going to fade in, fade out. We're ready to carry on with our video. So adding titles is really, really quick and easy. You know, you can do it all in the app. You don't have to then export it, put the titles in or anything. It's all there. So we've pretty much got a complete edit now. We've got an edit where we've trimmed our shots, added music, cut to the beat of the music. We've changed the color of our shots. We've changed the order of our shots and made sure we're just keeping the bits we want to use of each shot. So we've pretty much got a full edit ready to export. So the next step is just to hit done at the top. Choose between 720 and 1080. You may as well just choose 1080 so you've got the highest quality possible, and it will just generate the video. And once it's done that, you've got a video ready to share on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's ready to go straight from your phone. So if you are out and about, you know, flying your drone, and you do want to do some editing whilst you're there, you could just use the quick transfer mode off the drone, and you're pretty much good to go wherever you are to do some really cool editing. So I hope after seeing this, you realise that you can really do some kind of really advanced editing straight from your phone, and you can do it anywhere. The only kind of setback was getting the footage onto the phone. That took a little bit of time, but you know, it's no longer than getting it onto a laptop or anything else for editing. I do wish you could add sound effects, but you can only have one audio track in the app, so that's a bit of a pain. And I do wish you could rotate the screen so it wasn't just a vertical editing tool. So if you could rotate it so it was a landscape editing tool, I feel you'd be able to see everything a little bit more and have a bit more screen real estate to work with. But maybe that's something which can be changed later down the line. If you do an edit on the DJI Fly app, make sure to send it over to my Instagram, which is @DanielHallMedia, and I'll make sure to share some of my favourites on my stories. And going down the line into the future, I'm hoping to do a react to video with drone videos, which would be pretty cool. Other than that, thank you guys for getting me above 1,000 subscribers. That's absolutely amazing, thank you, and I really appreciate it. As promised, when I got to 1,000 subscribers, there will be a giveaway, and I'm going to be filming that video on Tuesday next week with all the details for that, so make sure you keep tuned for that. Before you do that, follow me on Instagram though, where I will be announcing more details over there, which is @DanielHallMedia. But guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to check out my other videos on the channel, and if you did like it, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and make sure to check out my drone playlist where there's a ton of drone videos on there, especially for beginners. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.